Andrea, thank you so much for taking us on this tour. I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about the history of Budapest and also talk about what is the beautiful city behind us.
Well, we are in a very right place to see the city, because then I can tell you why it's called Budapest. This side of the city where we are standing on the hilly side is called Buda, while on the other side of the Danube you can find Pest. And they were very independent settlements for a long time. And only in 1872-73 they became one city under the name Budapest. Earlier it was Old Buda, Buda and Pest. Where we are is a very different atmosphere from the other side, because here we have a very nice green laid-back area behind with the hills, and also the medieval city in front of us, which is the royal palace and the previous medieval city. Of course, for the people, Buda gave much more safety than Pest, because we had all the hills here, we have the cave systems here, and we had much more control from the top of the hills than being on the Pest side, which has no defense at all. Pest became a European metropolis really in the 19th century. At the end of the 19th century, beginning of the 20th century was the belle epoque for the city, and most of the buildings which we are showing now to the tourists, the parliament, the beautiful basilica and so on, they were built during those decades. So the city became the Paris of the East, as they called it, or the Queen of the Danube during that period, not without any reason. In front of us, the river, the Danube, is the second largest river of Europe. And the river has a very important role in the history of the city, one of the reasons why people settled here. And even today, the Danube connects us with all the neighboring countries. So it's still very important for us. It comes from the north and goes towards the south. And in front of us, the first permanent bridge, which was built over the Danube in 1849, that was the Chain Bridge. So this still can be seen, although all the bridges, without exceptions, were blown up in the Second World War, when about 70–60% of the city was very, very badly damaged. So after the Second World War, the city had to recover and had to be actually rebuilt from ashes again, especially the Buda side, the medieval city.
Is this the House of Parliament behind us?
On the right side, just along the river behind the Chain Bridge, is the building of the Parliament, which was finished in 1904, again the same period. And the same, very similar dome over there is the St. Stephen Basilica, the biggest Catholic church of the city. Both are 96 meters high. At that time, this number had a very serious meaning. 896 was the year of the conquest. So 96 had a meaning, a symbolical meaning, and no buildings could be built higher than those two major buildings. And if you have a look now, you can't see anything close to those buildings which would be higher than the Parliament or the St. Stephen Basilica.
Can you tell me what you like? You live in Budapest. What do you like about your city? What do you like most about living here?
Because you have two cities within one. I think this is the biggest advantage. If you need something busy life, all the culture, everything that's happening in the city, you cross the river and you go to the Pest side. But when you come to a point that you want something quiet and something nature and something green, you cross the same bridge and you come back to the Buda side. So it is a very big advantage. Without leaving the city, you feel like being outside of Budapest.
For an American tourist who was thinking about coming over here for a vacation, what would be some of the advantages or uniqueness of Budapest as opposed to some other vacation spots?
Well, I think Americans, when they are coming to Europe, they are not coming for Budapest, they are coming for Vienna, for Paris, for other cities, for Prague, and Budapest is one of the destinations. I think when they come here, then I always get the same impression or the similar impression. They are very, very deeply impressed because they don't expect anything like this. So they heard about Budapest, but it is not, of course, not on the same level mentioned as Paris or London or the other big Western European cities. But when they come, they are absolutely impressed by the situation of the city, first of all.
So it's kind of a hidden secret among
It's a hidden secret,
cities of Europe.
And the size of the city is very, very good. It's not too small and not too big. So you really can discover the beauties of the cities within a long weekend.
And the mineral baths, the hot baths, is that...
It's unique.
Yes.
There is nowhere else in the world. We have about 129 functioning hot springs within the city. Show me another capital which has got the same thing. And there isn't any.
Right. Is there also a certain appeal because of the Eastern Bloc, because Hungary was actually part of the Eastern Bloc during the Cold War? Some Americans are fascinated by that.
They are fascinated. First of all, those who are interested in the 1950s, we have got a wonderful opportunity, the House of Terror, for example, which is a very interactive museum and tells you all about that period. American young people, for example, they are very interested in that.